think we're live. I think we're out there. The folks can let us know if they're hearing us, if everything's going good. Let me drop the open on people.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange situation.
Don't forget to thumbs up, guys.
Of the locked
Ring the bell so you can be notified when we go live. We are live. Let's do jazz hands. Come on, everyone. Let's do a free-for-all Monday jazz hands. We got JP's doing jazz hands. Walter's doing jazz hands. There we go. There's Walter Keller. There he goes, JP Wagner. First time caller, long time listener.
Yes, sir.
To the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. Hope you got your big girl panties on. We are live. Yes, we're live. This is episode 409 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast, as I just said, of course. And it's Free for All Monday. Our subject today is California ammo background checks. Tim Knight boxed out at the NRA. We're going to talk about that. Plus, we have JP Wagner of Blue Rifle Society on Instagram, right, JP?
Yes, sir. Blue Rifle Society.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Hank. Thank you, Walter, for having me.
Good to have you. I know we've been talking here for a while. Actually,
I think last 3 years, probably, right?
Yes, absolutely. So now you know you're ready. You're ready to come out here.
I'm ready, man. That's it, man. I'm ready.
The other dudes on
I'm not a lawyer.
Internet.
I'm not a gun expert, but I'm a second supporter, and I like guns since I was a little kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
I picked up sticks that look like guns as like the 3-year-old and thinking, I just can't help it. It's in your blood.
Yeah, we can't.
Yeah,
it's
you out of
in
school, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's in the You can't do that anymore. No, you can't.
No. Yeah, I warn my kids sometimes, like, don't share some of the photos I bring them shooting, so I make sure they don't share everything there because you never know.
Yeah, because then they call the boys in blue, like you, because you are a police officer, you are in law enforcement.
Yes, sir.
Of course, which is always good, man. I like to have the Pro 2A law enforcement guys come on the show. There's lots. Well, see, I know that there's lots of them out there, but I think in general, statistic-wise, right, in law enforcement, is it a feeling or is it true that there's not a lot of guys that are really Pro 2A out there?
I would say maybe like half are. Not everybody's a gun guy in the law enforcement. Like even bringing up Blue Rifle Society, it took us 5 years to get enough guys in the PD to actually go and join this little group with me. Mm-hmm. They're all great guys. There's some, and it's surprisingly, they're younger guys that came into the PD that like guns and they like to shoot, and they all joined up. So I'm happy to see that, the younger generation is liking weaponry too,
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to talk about all of that. We'll get deep in it. Walter's here. I'm here. You're here. We'll get into all those things. Shout out to everyone that's coming in right now. Please, guys, smash the thumbs ups, okay? Ring the bell so you can be notified when we go live here. Drop your comments right here. All that kind of stuff. Share it if you can. Let me see. I'm going to try to go through and do some quick shout outs. I want to shout out Justin E. I heard that Justin E. is in the hospital. He's in the emergency room right now. He's got some diabetes-related things. I know he's got a lot of tough stuff hitting him all at once. So shout out to him if he can hear us. You get the top spot, even though Richard Hughes was number 1 in the chat. We will displace Richard Hughes for you, Justin.
I hope you feel better. Make sure you check your insulin or sugar, which one it is, and take care of yourself. Eat right, all that stuff.
Stress is no good, and I think he's going through a lot of stress lately.
Yeah, stress is no good.
Yeah, he's been going through some stuff. He lost his home, just all kinds of craziness going on there. So
that doesn't help.
No, I know how rough that could be. Shout out, of course, to Richard Hughes. I see CB, Philip Snyder out there, Michael Bender, Jade Grew, the Tyven Show's out there. Shout out to Tyven, SoCal Gunner, Chris Williams, The Archangel as well out there, Appalachian Gun Runner. Let's see, who else do we have in here? DCG 44s. If you see anyone, Walter, let me know. Chris Bullis, Brian Wyatt as well out there right now. Richard Maunder from England. We have we're spreading out across the world, Walter. Yeah.
Spreading our wings. So
I see we're like a virus taking over the world. I
got a virus right now. So,
well, thankfully that could not spread over the internet, that one.
No, you don't want this crap. No.
But
that's from probably flying back from England with everybody in that tin can,
Yeah.
The air quality back there,
Yeah. He's got that French.
Cut it from the wife.
Yeah, it's the French ooh la la fever. He's got a fever. And there you go.
I guess.
I'm just making that up right now.
I haven't heard of that one, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm making it up.
Hey,
Yeah.
never know.
Special K is out there. Boss Hog out there as well. Let's see who else we got. Armory and Axes, I think. I said Randy Peacock, James Lawson. Bricks is out there. STL Storm Spotter, YNH. Also, Rob Avis, DC2 Mega Boost, Mr. Hootie Hoo. Shout out to Hootie Hoo. He's out there. Pew Pew Park says hey to everyone. If you see any of your folks, JP, let me know. If you've got any buddies that are jumping in on the chat. I don't know whether or not you could see the chat, but you'd have to open up the YouTube window of Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded and mute it.
So
if you
I'll
can.
do right now.
Yeah,
I can do that.
Don't kill your internet, though. So
No, I'm going off of I got unlimited, so I can watch on my just satellite stuff here.
Okay, cool. That way you can see the comments.
I can do it.
Paul K is out there. Lewis 1911. Shout out to him. It's one of my buddies. He's here in Florida. He's a writer. Let's see who else we got. James Miller, Charles Holshuth as well. David Cardinal. Rafael Morales, Uncle Mike, Shooting Gallery NE is out there. Kathleen Music Lover, Pixamite. Billy Phoenix says howdy Hank. Let's see who else we got in here. Trying to get through everyone. Tango Hunter as well. Okay, so everyone that's coming in, make sure that you smash the thumbs. We need to get
one.
Who did I miss? Oh, go ahead.
Dick Willie's in the house.
Okay, good one. I was saving that one. I was saving all the big dick for you, Walter.
Okay, thank you.
I'm giving the thumbs up right now, Hank.
Awesome, thank you. Clayman 302 is out there as well. Tacos and French fries. Brian Wyatt says loves the hat. This is the Fort Scott Munitions hat. Shout out to them. Shout out to Walther Firearms as well for sponsoring the podcast here, helping us keep the doors open, pay the bills, etc. Jimway Jam also out there. Nightmare 03 as well. Okay, boom. I think we got all that out of the way. I'm going to ask everyone how their weekend was. Let's start. Since you're the special guest, JP, how was your weekend, man? You're still on the force, right? You're not retired or anything like that.
Okay. I did 17 and a half years. I started in 2001. I started a different PD.
Okay.
And then after 3 years, 4 months, I came to my PD, current PD, because, the pay is better, retirement's better. It's just, the other guys are great. It's just you got to do what's best for your family. And I switched PD. So I have 15 in this PD now. I need to do another 5.
Okay.
And then I will pop smoke.
So I don't know how much you want to tell about this, right? And think about it, because we don't want to get you in any trouble or expose any info that doesn't need to be. But can you tell us what state you're working in?
I'm still working in Connecticut.
Connecticut. There you go. CT.
Yes, sir.
We got some people
representing the Northeast here,
Right,
so
right.
that there's some gun-loving guys up here.
Yeah. You can have a little something in Connecticut. Not a lot of something, but a little something, unfortunately.
Is it Connecticut the Constitution state?
That's what they say it is.
What the F happened?
They forgot about this, Walter. They forgot.
I think what happened was all the gun manufacturers, a lot of them were in Connecticut. If you think about it, and most of them moved out. Colt's still hanging tough. It says Hartford, but they're really out of West Hartford.
Standard Manufacturing's in Connecticut. I don't know if you know Standard Manufacturing.
Yeah, it's right next to it. Yeah, it's right a couple towns over from Britain, so it's right there.
Yeah.
I have a friend who works there.
Yeah, what was that, Walter? You said Mossberg's still there?
Mossberg's still there.
Yeah,
West
Mossberg.
Haven.
Yeah.
And Stag is leaving.
Stag is leaving. I've got friends over at Stag. Does anyone know where Stag is going to? Did we ever talk about that, Walter? I can't remember if we talked about Stag moving out of Connecticut finally.
Can't remember. I think not Stag, but is it Smith & Wesson's opening a place in Alabama or some place like that?
Alabama. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I know Colt has. There's not a lot of Colt, even though Colt is left there in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
They've really dwindled down, right?
Oh yeah, they dwindled down.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it's just like you do HK and all. They try to fill military orders before the public. Like I don't understand. Like at least Stag will give you you can go there and order parts. There's all these things you can do. But Colt doesn't give you that option. Like they don't give you the option I can order a new bolt carrier from them right off the line.
Right.
At least Stag does that. You can order a parts kit, whatever you need.
Yeah.
And so it's for the customer. Colt is more for in Colts are great guns. I have them. I like them, but they're they have to remember they're not HK. Start supporting the local people so we can buy stuff from.
Yeah.
Like what we need. If I want to get a butt stock, I want to get this. Let me buy it from you.
Yeah. Otherwise, because right now, I don't know if people know this, but you cannot buy a new AR-15 in Connecticut. Correct, right?
No, but there's such thing as others. So others right now, I don't give too much information because I don't want them taken away from us. But others are like it has a pistol brace on it, and it's I think it's like 14 inches. It's a weird roundabout. It's an AR rifle with a pistol brace on it, basically. And there's some other things that allow you to have it.
Right.
Me being a police officer, I just need a letter from my chief or acting like a lieutenant. He can sign for me, so I can still get anything I want. And after 90 days, after I retire, I have 90 days to register it as a assault weapon.
Wow.
In Connecticut standards, so I can still get the good stuff. I don't think it's fair that civilians can't get it, but those are rules, and I'm just happy I can get it right now.
Yeah, it sucks. It does suck. I have to say that
It
for all the civilians out there who can't have it.
Yep.
It does suck. We definitely have to try to do something. I think a lot of people are just leaving Connecticut, right? Do you see that? Do you think a lot of people are getting out of Connecticut?
The people I talk to, Connecticut's a beautiful state. I can drive a half hour down, be at the beach, and it has woods, state forest, all this great stuff. It's just the taxes are ridiculous, and people are taking their Yankee money and they're going down south. They're going to Florida. Tennessee's a big one right now. The Carolinas.
And they're bringing their Connecticut ways down here too.
Hopefully,
unfortunately,
that's the hardest part for you guys is.
Yeah.
Do you know anything? Like, if you look who voted for who in our state, the cities have so many people, and usually those are people getting most social services that lean Democratic way. They have the highest vote, and they outvote people. Like upstate New York, New York City is so anti-gun, it's unbelievable. Like my brother's police officer in New York City, he put in for his permit, and they told him, no, you can't. We don't want you to have a permit. You can carry on your badge.
Wow.
Because if something if he gets suspended for something because he shows up late to work or something, they don't want to give him a permit to carry because I don't know. They don't want him to have a gun.
Yeah, they just want him to be totally defenseless, like everyone else. My brother, big chunk of my family lives in New York still, and my brother can't get the concealed permit at all. He has gotten a couple of permits to buy stuff, but which is crazy. You have to get a permit specifically for what you're buying. Let me shout out Scorched Earth's Firearms Training out there. He gave us a couple of bucks. Shout out to him, to Rodimus Mills out there. And then Ashrin McBee also gave us $5. He says, hey, Walter, could I bring an upper by you? Having trouble getting a gas block off. Gun is having cycling issues. Love the show. And see you at Aries soon. That's from Ashrin McBee. So
we'll see.
Walter. Yeah. Call up Walter and talk to him.
Yeah, well, sometimes those things are even beyond me getting them off. So.
Okay.
If it's one with the pins, you got to try to drive the pins out.
Yeah.
There can be a major.
My buddy just cracked one. He had an over-the-barrel suppressor. And he actually, I don't know if you put it up on our channel yet, or Blue Rifle Society on Instagram, but he was shooting and it was a short barrel and it cracked the block itself. So he has a nice picture of a crack to it. So he's had to replace his.
Huh. Yeah.
So let's just overshot it or what?
Let's throw this up here. I'm going to throw up my phone. I'm going to put up a screen capture of my phone. So if you guys look, it's I think you can search Blue Rifle Society and you'll find the Instagram. It looks like it's you guys are _ Blue Rifle Society _
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it works either way, but _ yeah.
And they've got lots of things. Walter and myself are following them, so I would just I would encourage you guys to go on there, like some of their stuff, like I'm doing right now. Just go in there,
appreciate it, Hank.
And smash like on a couple of the things that are going on in here. Yep. And we're gonna get this conversation going, but I do want to help these guys get the follows up on the Instagram. So if you're listening to us on audio, which we have lots of folks doing that, please do it. We appreciate that. And there's lots of stuff coming in here. Andy Carlson says police are civilians too. Don't ever forget that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I told my son, he just made a second lieutenant. He joined the Army. I said, hey, make sure you take care of your enlisted guys, because you take care of your enlisted guys, they take care of you. And that's you still have to be a boss. You still have to, but you have to take care of your enlisted guys because that's your core. Everybody forgets about who's supporting you, make you successful in life. So you always support you like we were talking about before, like the gun community. Everybody, you go into a gun store, people try to be like tough with you. Everybody has to be more tactical than the next guy. I can't take that. I can't take it. It's hard. Like, how about teaching people? How about having fun? How about I go to range? I was on the SWAT team for 12 and a half years. I was K9. I did a lot of stuff. I go to range and tell people, listen, I'm not in competition with you to shoot right now. Let's just shoot and have fun. Relax. If you relax, you'll shoot a lot better. You'll listen to instructions. You'll have a better time here. So, like, I'm not a competitive shooter. I'm a shooter,
Yeah.
So I want people to have fun in the range because if people start to enjoy firearms, then more people will support our Second Amendment. And it's so simple. Get young people out there shoot, bring people out shooting that maybe are liberals or whatever you want to call them, bring them out shooting. And guess what? They'll walk away with a smile on their face, most of them.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. I haven't seen, most people do that on, be safe, of course. Yeah, that's the only time we see people not having fun.
Yes, that's
if they're not safe.
Yeah.
But most of us are safe. We practice safety rules, and do the best that we can. But let me get a couple of things in here first before we get deep. Scorched Earth, our friend Rod Mills, Walter. I'm going to read this one. It's a special message for you. Should I read it, or do you want to read it?
Go ahead.
Yeah, Scorched Earth Firearms Training says, if I were gay, I'd marry Walter and shoot his guns.
Guns.
You could just be his mistress. You don't have to get married. Yeah. That's what I would say.
Well, there's going to be an issue with that because it's not reciprocal on the gay thing. So.
We are talking about Rod Mills here, so
Well, I don't know. I thought Rod liked the women with the bootay.
So I don't know. Maybe his.
You have a lot of guns, Walter. Maybe he'll fake it. I don't know, man.
Yeah, his tastes are changing. His tastes are changing. Yeah.
I saw a guy on my page called Despy. He's my buddy, part of Blue Rice Society. He has so many guns. I'm like, hey, can I be in your will, buddy? He has no kids. I'll be your kid. I'll show up, hang out with you. I'll go baseball game with you, whatever. Just let me get
change his diaper when he's old.
That's okay. There's work to this. You don't just get in the will for no reason.
Yeah.
You gotta help him shake it off. Because when you get old, you can't shake it off as well as you used to be able.
We're gonna do. I have 5 kids, right? He had 0 kids, so we call it Despy money. So he's able to get a lot of nice. Firearms.
Nice guns. Okay, cool. He's in Connecticut?
Yeah, he's part of our Blue Rice Society group.
Okay, cool. All those guys are in Connecticut, right?
Yes, they all work we're all at the same PD. It's amazing. That's what I was saying. It was hard to get. I wanted to do this 5 years ago. I talked to you 3 years ago. I wanted to start getting into this. It took the right time to get new guys in that enjoyed firearms. And I said, hey, let's do this. And they all jumped on board,
Yeah. Hootie Who says he applied to be a police officer, but withdrew when he found out the starting pay cops should be paid more.
You come to Connecticut, you'll do well. It's just everything else is a little more expensive. So
I think here's my philosophy on this, and I'm sure you've probably heard it before. But I think, especially in some places, there's too many cops. They're not paid well enough, and they're not trained well enough. So I would rather have well-trained people just over like mass forces of folks out there, and better. Obviously, if you're gonna, these guys need to be better trained, educated, and paid and vetted as well. Not everyone's actually cut out to be a police officer. So
nope, that's 100% fact.
Yeah. So. But we don't there's all these weird rules, I guess, nowadays, right?
A lot of real rules, yeah. I mean, a lot of people just get kicked out just on background, and a lot of these younger kids don't want to be cops. They don't. And then it's funny though, because everybody doesn't want to be a cop until they can't get a job and a degree. Then they all come to try to be cops.
Yeah, but if you want to, go ahead. I'm sorry.
We make good money, in Newington, in Connecticut, we make good money.
Yeah.
We're making decent money.
If you want to serve your community, or if you're one of those people out there that you're just like, oh, what's going on in our community? We've got this problem and that problem. The way you can serve your community, or that you can at least start, is by becoming a law enforcement professional.
And I tell people all the time, like, you don't like the police, why don't you join us? I want diversity in the PD. We need diversity. You need people to represent the community, right? And but the real bad guys don't care if you're black, Puerto Rican, Korean. They don't care. You're in a uniform. You have your colors on, just like they wear their gang colors, and they don't care what you're in the opposite gang. They don't care what race you are. So, but if you want to help, and you go out there, you treat people like their mom, their dad, it's your brother. Like I always come off. I don't care
your
if you're
children.
I'm going to treat you good until you decide that you don't want to be treated good, and then I'm going to do what's in the law and what I'm able to do to correct that.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't, like I pull people over for simple things like a red light. I understand they're busy, they're going to work, but how unsafe was that red light? Was it intentional? Was it just they got barely through it? So you have to weigh all those things. You have to go out there and try to be as fair as you can. And when you do that, people respect it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
so,
we're gonna talk about some of that stuff here. I've got some things that popped up. Shooting Gallery Northeast says just subscribe to them on Instagram, so that you just got one extra subscriber, man, from this show. It's on now. Yeah, that's like a landslide coming at you. You got me, you got Walter. Yeah.
Hey, I think we're at 396 or something when we started, but it's only been up for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So for 400 followers in 4 weeks isn't bad.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Let's see. We got there's a bunch of comments coming in and stuff like that. Look, we have over 100 people already watching, so I'd like to see 100 thumbs ups as we get into it here. You know what I want to do, JP? Let's hit some of the things that we wanted to talk about right off the top. Some of the stuff that's in the title. I do want to talk about the thing that's going on in California, so let's probably kick that up first. I'll throw this article up here. California gun owners face new background checks for ammo purchases. California became the first state in the country. This is a travesty. Do not mistake this, people. This is a travesty. California became the first state in the country on Monday to require background checks for all ammunition purchases. Under the new law, gun owners now have to pick up bullets in person in the store. That means if the buyer makes the purchase online, it must be shipped to a gun shop for pickup. Gun owners will be subject to a background check every time they make a purchase, even if they're already registered with the state. Gun owners are required to pay $20 for the first spot check and $1 for each additional purchase. This is just a ripoff. This is just a way to California to get more money out of you. Opponents say in addition to costing gun owners time and money, the law will send buyers across state lines for ammo, hurting business for sellers in California. Advocates say it's meant to keep the bullets out of the wrong hands. And I'll let either one of you guys, Walter, I don't know if you're ready to jump in on this. You got an opinion on this thing. We've all seen it coming for a while. What do you...
Who doesn't... I agree with that. That's my opinion there exactly.
Yeah. So succinct, right? So, from the mouth of babes. From the mouth of babes, basically.
Who's doing the background checks in California? California has their own background check system?
You know what? That is a good question. Let me see if this
they're not burdening the NICS system with background checks for ammunition, are they?
I don't know. You know what? That's a good question. If someone out there is in California and knows the answer to this question, let us know. They also said that now you have to use non-lead ammunition for hunting. That's also in effect. So,
any cost they can get on ammo, it's already expensive now. If they start putting more costs on it, it's going to cause people to buy less, and it's just another tax. Just like in Connecticut, they tax everything.
Yeah,
we have a car tax. Like every year, you get a tax on your car. How much it's worth? It's crazy. Tax and everything.
Yeah. This is not good stuff. And I know that there's other states that want to follow suit here and do the background check for bullets. And then we had Governor Newsom in California saying that guns don't kill people, which I agree with. Guns don't kill people. People do. He said the bullets do, though. So now, what they're doing is going after the ammo to try to stop you from being able to defend yourself. The guns, the bullets don't do it. It's human beings that operate these things. These things don't function without human beings.
And throughout history, people killed each other all the time. Doesn't make it right, but it's just human nature. There's some really, really bad people on the street. There's
Yeah.
some real bad people out there every day.
Yeah, and
You don't see it.
they're also, listen, other, like the article said that people are going to go out of state, and I think they're going to create a black market or a gray market, whatever you want to call it. You know, there's a lot of crap going on here. I think ultimately it's just money. It's just a cash grab from California.
Hank, I know who will have bullets.
Who?
The bad guys. The
Yeah.
bad guys.
Oh yeah, for
They
sure.
will start the black market. They will. They don't obey laws. So
Yeah.
they'll be going over to state, having their buddies bring it in. They will have bullets. So all these laws, all this does is affect a good guy.
Yeah.
You know, try to defend his family, the recreational shooter that does everything safe and proper.
Yeah.
It affects that guy.
Yeah.
Not the bad guy. It never
No.
affects the bad guy.
Richard Hughes says cars don't kill, bumpers do. Okay. And Brian Quick has a smarty pants question for you here. He gave us a couple of bucks, so I'm gonna read his comment here. He says, "Does JP believe the official Sandy Hook report?"
Yeah, I had a friend, I was K9, and he was down there, kind of messed him up a lot. He responded to it. So I believe it happened. Like, I know he was a good friend of mine, and he was affected, like really affected by it. He saw bodies. So there's no fake bodies there. It happened. So
Yeah.
everything, I don't know. I didn't read the whole thing, so I don't know, you know,
Yeah.
but I believe it happened.
Listen, we're going to continue to have this kind of these kind of tragedies from broken human beings in the world. We have to figure out how to defend ourselves from it. And if if they don't use guns, they'll use cars, they'll use planes, they'll, you know, whatever knives, baseball bats, bricks, their hands, poison, fire, whatever they can. That's what they'll use. We just have to be able to, acid. You know, we just have to be able to meet those things.
Look at London; they're stabbing everybody. You know, it's like so.
Yeah.
You take away the gun, they'll kill you some other way.
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys have a tough job. I've got friends that are police officers all over the country, including in New Jersey, New York, you know, all that. Imagine the dudes in England, man, that you're a police officer in England. You can't even be armed.
No thanks. I wouldn't want to be in uniform. They know you're a target. They know who you are. Like, it's like in Vietnam or any other non-conventional army. You're in uniform. They're not in uniform. We don't know who they are, but they know who we are. So, you know, it's
disadvantage.
You know, we have a disadvantage, but that's why we're super vigilant, and you should be. You know, like, we pick up on things that other people might not pick up on. And hopefully every officer's out there feeling that way, because every alarm I go to, I take it as if it's a serious alarm. I don't go out and like, oh, it's just another 18th time we came here. I take it serious every single time.
Yeah.
You know?
So
not so much it's going to stress me out, but, you know, I'm going to take it serious.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Richard Hughes was asking if you can reload in California, which I don't know. I know there's people saying yes, you can reload for right now. The law does not affect reloading. What would you do, JP, in let's say in Connecticut? Because I think that these laws are going to become infectious and spread throughout the country if we don't push back against it. What would you do if they tried to bring something like this to Connecticut? What would you?
I would just they wouldn't think about probably reloading, so I would just probably get a reloader and start reloading. Now, hopefully, there'd be enough people we can organize that would go up to state capitol and try to, you know, fight it. I don't know how it's going to work out, because there's a lot more people voting opposite than us, but we can at least try. And then, you know, I'd probably get a reloader and start doing my own stuff. You know, I have to follow the law.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so I couldn't be going to New Hampshire, to Free State, and buy ammo and bring it back. You know,
right. So, do you see a lot of people, you know, like fighting, standing up for Second Amendment in Connecticut? Do you guys see that, or do you think like what we're seeing here in Florida? There's a lot of disinterested people that are kind of like in zombie mode.
I think that the Carry Defense League, they made a lot of noise up at the Capitol. There are a lot of fighters up here, because there's some old Yankees up here like their guns, you know, and that's, you know, so I don't know how big our voice would be, but you still have to get out there and try, you know. So it always starts in California, and it makes its way to Maryland, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts. Those are all the states that adopt everything that happens in California.
Yeah,
You know?
we need to get there's something that we need to do about it. I don't know if the Supreme Court's going to come in on this. This is probably a good topic here for discussion. You know, I think that they're going after the ammo because they feel like, hey, that's not in the Constitution, so we'll just go after the ammo. How do you guys feel about that, Walter? You have an opinion on this?
It's like going after gasoline.
Yeah.
I mean, what a gun has ammo, right? The two are, you know.
Yeah.
You take away the musket ball, you know. I guess I don't know. I think it's all silly. You know, it's not going to stop anything except stop the legal people, you know, or encumber the legal people.
Yep,
Aside from that, and the whole tax thing. I mean, that's a never-ending story up in the Northeast, Illinois, California.
Yep.
Every place you can think of where all their policies fail. So, you know, and they just keep spending and more and taxing more and spending more, and then like in Illinois, people are leaving in droves. California, people leaving in droves. So the people who stay are going to get hit even harder. Unfortunately, when they come to Florida, they don't come here because they want to be free. They want to come here because they're cheap.
Yep. And then they bring the crazy.
They bring their leftist ways down here, which is you don't need no guns. The police are going to take care of me, or whatever. I don't know.
It's no different. It's no different than people coming from outside of America, which, like, I'm an immigrant, right? People come from outside of America, from like socialist, communist countries that are just totally devastated, their economies and all that. And then this is why they're leaving. In some cases, you're talking about places that are just as beautiful, you know, in terms of the landscape and stuff like that, but horrible because of the things that human beings have done there. They come to America and then they want the same crap. You know, they support the same thing that made them leave the country that they were in. It's the same thing happening with someone leaving California, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, and coming down south, or any free state, right? You know, we got some on the west or whatever.
Because they go to the states, there's no taxes.
Yeah.
They shoot themselves in the foot, though, when they do that.
They're time to be taxed, but they come here and they want the same stuff they have there, and the only way they're going to get that stuff is if they get taxed. I don't, you know, they say Florida doesn't have a state income tax because of the snowbirds and their money, but you know, I don't know at what point that changes. You know, the Florida used to be a free state, you call that, you know, where guns were never an issue, and then all of a sudden now they want to. Well, hopefully we change this thing about. In Florida, every time they can't pass something through a legal process, they want to change the state constitution.
Yeah, they go with the constitution.
And that's a bunch of horse shit. Because we don't need stuff in the state constitution about dog racing and this and that and all these petty little. That's not what a constitution's about. You know, I mean, it's just.
Everybody, what happens is you start giving social services out, right? So all these people like free this. You're just going to ruin the next generation because they get used to taking that free stuff. Like, we grew up really poor when I was little. I mean, poor. But my dad refused to take social services because he wanted to work for his living, wanted to show us that you can make it. And thank God, four of my older brothers, we all made it. But if we start to take all these handouts, you get used to it.
Yeah. And
more people start coming and they get more handouts. And then what does it do? I think if you look at the Connecticut, most of the money is spent on social services. And some are good and some are bad. A lot of people are just, you know, smoking weed and playing Xbox, you know, and not working.
There's some people that need some help and the rest are lazy.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree, Walter.
And you got to turn that lazy part off, whether it hurts them or not.
Yeah.
You know, and they're going to be.
Well, we shouldn't kill the stigma, right? The stigma is a motivation. So I think we need the motivation. Like, you know, your life should get a little tough if you go out there and you have babies without getting married, or the person who you thought was going to support you when you had these babies, you didn't check into them, or they didn't hold up their end of the thing. You need things to be tough so you go, oh, wait a second, you know, this is why we need to do better, or why my kids need to do better and don't get into the same thing as me. We need these kinds of things to make us better. There's a cost for everything. Nothing's really free. So if you're sucking on the teat of the government, you're gonna be poisoned.
You're a slave.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Yes, you are. I agree,
Yeah.
Walter.
You are a slave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another thing no one understands, like if you ever make it big or get any money, the state's gonna come back and be like, whoa, we paid you this much money over the last 5 years. They want that money back. So you can't even, like, if you want to try to buy a home, you can't. So it just keeps people down.
Yeah.
So that whole, I agree. People do need help. I'm 100%. I'll help anybody. I don't care who you are. I'd help you. If you need it, I'd help you. But you need to kick people in the ass sometimes and say, get up. You need to work for yourself and your family. Make your kids' life better than yours. And that's through hard work.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. We got a couple things going on here. Richard Hughes says the 2A did not include ammo because they never thought the people would elect such stupid politicians. And Red Bear says, as the demographics change across the country, these changes will happen.
Yeah.
Well,
that's why you have to stop the flow of the at the border too. I heard a good thing the other day. If your bathroom's broken and the water pipes are broken, what do you do first? You stop the flow of water, right?
Turn off the water. You shut off the source.
Then you make the repair, right? So
yeah,
the border's the same thing.
Well, okay. So did you see? As we talk about here, right? I'm not dogmatic to anyone or anything, but did you see the cartoonist that he did a cartoon of Trump just golfing, even though over the bodies of these people that washed up in the river? Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw
that's
that.
wrong.
Yeah. That had the two have nothing. It's a typical liberal garbage, and it's just.
It's just the old classic. If you demonize something long enough, and if you keep saying it and saying it, people believe it. They don't look into it. They're on their own. They don't do their own research. They just see it and they believe it.
That's like saying it's my fault or your fault or your fault.
Exactly.
It's not your fault. It's first thing, that person got into the water with their kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So it was his fault. He drowned himself and killed his kid.
Yeah.
So,
but on top of that, we've been saying that there's an emergency here and we need to lock it down, control it. There needs to be there's resources need to go to the board. Like that's all being said, right? It's not like no one's been trying to say that.
Maybe if they gave the fund, and maybe that wouldn't have happened. Let's blame it on someone else now. If you want to do the blame game, if Trump asked for a certain amount of money and they refused to give it to him, maybe if they gave it to him, then there would be a more secure border, and that wouldn't happen. You could say anybody could say any argument.
Yeah, you could put the blame on the countries that allow people to leave, because they just want to get rid of those people and let them become someone else's problem. You could put the blame on the countries that allow those people to transit through their country. There's a lot. If you want to lay blame, but yes, ultimately, like Walter said,
they're making money off those people.
Yeah,
any of those,
for sure.
If you don't think that country, like Mexico, there's people getting paid to bring those people through that country. So someone's getting paid. If they had no profit, they wouldn't be bringing people to their country.
Ultimately, though, as Walter said, the blame's always on you. Like, I think we all have kids here, right?
Yes.
So who takes the responsibility for your children? I know I do for mine. I think about them all the time. There's lots of things I'm like, no, can't do this. I'm not going to do this thing because I care about my children and what happens to them. If you care about your children, if you love your children over anything, you won't take these kinds of risks, to destroy your children just to get into America.
Yeah.
It's not.
It is a
I
great
think that's
country,
crazy.
I'll tell you that, though.
It is a great country. I get it, but you're not gonna. I would rather be alive in Nigeria or Guyana than if my parents said, "Hey, let's try to go across this river. You might drown, but you'll get in America, the land of milk and honey, and money grows on trees." I would rather just be in Guyana and be alive, and I could at least live and try to accomplish something and change my country.
You know what another way to get into America is? Join the military. They'll help you get your citizenship through the military. We had a bunch of Filipinos in the Navy, in the Army. We had some Mexicans join it. Like, you can get your citizenship, join the military. You're American, right? You want to be American? Join the military, and they'll help you get your citizenship a lot faster.
Yeah.
Hey, why not do that?
Yeah. That's what Lola's brother did. That's what Lola's brother did.
That takes work, though.
I know.
Stop it. That takes work. I don't want to work.
No, listen. My godfather did that, and he was in the Vietnam War. Lola's brother did that, and he was in the Gulf and a bunch of other things. He just became a sergeant major. Yeah, listen.
Awesome.
What's wrong with doing that, man? I don't get it.
I tell kids all the time, they're like, I don't want to get blown up. Listen, you could be a vet tech in the Army if you want. You could be, you could do so many jobs in the military. It doesn't include combat arms, and it's a great thing for young people that maybe don't want to go to college and have, $160,000 in debt. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
You do 3 or 4 years, they help you pay for your college. It's a very positive, good thing.
Yeah.
Helped me out a lot.
Yeah, serve your country, go through some tough stuff, grow up, realize like, oh, wait a second, it's not so bad with my, So I'm gonna probably get in trouble for this, but my younger son went off to with his buddies over the weekend. They were in Daytona for I think some kind of video game convention, but the hotel accommodations didn't go as planned. I guess they were supposed to have like a big room, lots of beds. They didn't really have that, so he had to like sleep on the floor. He took a sleeping bag, but it was very miserable, and he's been very upset since he got back. And the first thing I'm like, oh, there's nothing like home.
No,
right? All the awesomeness of home doesn't mandatorily come when you go out there in the world. You have to deal with other people.
Have you ever been in the field? If you go out there for a couple weeks, there's no chairs, man. You have to like sit back to each other. Like it's miserable, man. They keep you miserable too, so you don't realize the highlight.
Yeah.
You look over to engineers have like portable showers and like I'm like, how do those guys get all that good stuff? Because they don't want the infantry guys, the guys in the field, like they want them to be miserable because if they see the nice life of the military, they might stray.
If you don't lose, how do you appreciate when you gain?
Exactly.
Yeah. How do you appreciate when you get something? Well, I feel like you want to say something, Walter. Before you say it, hold on a second, Walter. I'm going to let you jump in here. Flopping Garbage, he says live from a hospital bed in Phoenix, Arizona. It's Flopping Garbage. What's up, people? That's Justin. So everyone go in there and shout out Justin and Flopping Garbage. He says Hank Strange just popped in, missed my shout out. So you guys go out there and give him some love. Tell him to get better. Walter, what were you going to say?
No, I don't have anything. I'm trying to stay awake.
Oh.
No, I'm just...
Oh, okay.
No, I just
better get with it.
With the whole cold thing, I've just been like, wow.
Yeah. See? Don't...
I'm all right.
Make sure you get your vitamin C.
Yeah. I think it's past the vitamin C.
Yeah, echinacea. What is it? Echinacea? Yeah. Oh, so what, you need shots? You're getting old, man. Not.
Shots of Jack Daniels? Shots of what? Yeah. Shots of what?
You need the smell of gunpowder. You need to go shoot some guns.
I'm not even interested in that tonight. So.
Oh.
I do have a couple guns though I dug out.
Oh, okay.
So,
yes.
See 'em, Walt.
Yep, we're gonna show guns here. Okay, what do you got, Walt? Let's show some guns.
Well,
Let's get you active.
I was thinking, before the, everybody likes Canics, right?
Yeah. Why not?
Everybody's a big Canic fan,
Yeah.
But before the plastic Canics were all the rage, there was the Canic Stingray, which is basically like a CZ compact.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks just like a CZ kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, all metal.
Nice.
And these kind of hit the market before the plastic guns did.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good gun. It shoots well and everything.
Yeah.
I found it when I was digging around for stuff.
Yeah, just a gun you forgot you had or something?
Well, I knew I had it. It just kind of got buried. And then this is made by a company called ISSC. It's a 22 pistol. It looks kind of like a Glock.
Okay, nice.
Almost looks like a Glock 18 with a selector switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it has a hammer in the back. So
yeah. Like
a
movie Glock. Movie Glock.
Yeah, movie Glock. Yeah. So it's a inexpensive 22 threaded barrel, the whole 9 yards. We got to shoot it.
Yeah. Very cool.
And I found my Picatinny Rail zombie sticker.
Oh, Sookie.
I got a little bayonet with me right now.
Glow in the dark. Oh, look at that. Serrated.
I like that.
Oh, wow. That's a picture right there, Walter. You got to throw that up on Instagram.
Yeah, on the Instagrams.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will.
Yeah. Kathleen Music Lover says, what pistol is that? Can you hit us with that again?
That is a ISSC M22.
Yeah, just show it. Throw it up there one more. There you go.
Made in Austria.
Okay. Very cool.
So kind of gawkish, but with a hammer and a safety.
Okay.
Actually, a decent quality.
Yeah, I think I've shot this, haven't I, Walter?
You might have, yeah.
I think so.
It's been a while ago if you did it.
Right. I don't know if we really got a video in on it or not, but
probably
we
not.
Probably need to. JP, you got some guns over there you want to show since we're jumping into
I got some bullpups. I know you're a bullpup fan. I'm a bullpup fan.
Yes.
I'm going to go grab something to drink real quick.
Okay, go ahead, Walt. I got it on JP. Let's see the bullpups.
So the first one up
here.
It was between the SCAR to FS 2000, right? The FN.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of people had this gun. I saw a lot of people. Not a lot of people had it, so I was like, you know what? I'll grab this gun now.
Yeah.
I had it for a while.
I have one.
Nice
I've never.
bullpup.
Yeah, I have one. I've never really shot it. This is the FS 2000.
Yeah, the FN FS 2000.
Oh, okay.
It's sexy.
Yeah.
All the rounds slide out the front, so you get no ejection. So you can shoot lefty, you can shoot righty, whatever you want, and all those rounds just glide right out the front.
Yeah.
So if you do a real quick 30 rounds, lost my bud. If you shoot fast, all those rounds when you're done will still be sliding out the front.
Yeah, that's very cool. How long have you had that?
I had this probably 5 years now, 6 years.
Yeah. So remember now you've got your background is blurred. So.
All right. Yeah. How do I get rid of that?
I have no idea. That's probably going to be on your Skype. It's probably going to be in your Skype, one of your Skype options, but.
Yeah, it's making my gun look. I don't like that.
Let me see. I don't think I could do it.
Recording, turn subtitles, unblur background. Boom.
Yeah, just click that. There you go. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, there we go. So now we can see that bad boy. There you go.
So this thing right here, I like it because it has a big mag release right here. So when you come up, you just put it in, you slap your finger right on the mag release, and it comes right out. So
what kind of magazines? Is that only like the GI type mags for that?
This one fits everything. Like the AUG, I got this there AUG next. I got it down here.
Right.
I got this one. It only fits the Star AUG mags.
Yeah. So Special K is crying right now because he sold me his FS 2000, and so he's crying. He's missing it. Well, you know. Yeah.
It's nasty.
Yeah. Yeah, the AUG's nice too. So this is an AUG that's not like my AUG. I could put PMags in it. This one you can't, right?
Yeah, no, I put nope. I just did the regular original Star AUGs because what happened? My local gun store, Newington Gun. I love to give them a little shout out.
Mm-hmm.
They give me anything I need. They had like 15 to 20 probably like 20 magazines for this gun. The 42 rounders, everything.
Okay.
So I want the original Star AUG. I want only Star mags going in this. My running gun, I have an MK18 over there. That's my running gun. A little short barrel.
Okay. By the way, Jared E gave us a couple of bucks. He says, "My guns and cans know respect and safety. Yeet." Okay. Yeet.
So this is my running gun. This is a little MK18 genuine defense with a Surefire mini monster on it.
Okay.
I want to keep it light and short, so that's why I got the mini monster on it. Because it's only like a 5-inch can maybe.
Okay.
So this is it's light and I can fit any mag in it.
So can anyone get suppressors in Connecticut? What's the situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So what you have to do before you used to have a chief's letter to the town you lived in,
mm-hmm.
but now you don't have to have it. You go if you went to the gun store. They like Newington Gun will fill everything out for me. I just gotta get my passport photos. I gotta get the $200 money order,
mm-hmm.
and I just send it in. So
yeah.
And they're nice. They're nice enough to allow me to put some of the money down, and then when it comes in, I put the rest of it down.
Right.
So it helps. It makes it a little easier because you have 11 months, probably a year, to pay that can off.
Right.
So it makes it a lot nicer,
Yeah. Matt Morrison says, didn't they stop making the FN 2000? I think they don't. Yes. Yeah, they don't make the FS 2000 anymore, right?
So I got it. So it's a oddity gun it works. It's very accurate,
mm-hmm.
and you can shoot it lefty, righty, wherever you want.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Bullpups are just cool, man. Bullpups are cool.
Yeah.
Walter, how come you didn't bring me back one of those British bullpups, man? What's the deal?
SA-80?
Yeah, come on, Walt.
Yeah. I just Yeah.
Wow, Walter, you are really
Well,
you are really in trouble, man.
Oh, Walter's struggling.
No,
I
no
couldn't,
snazzy responses on that one.
yeah. That
I'm
was
gonna
one I
go
have
in
no-
now. I said there's blood in the water.
I have no response to that one because there's no access there. I could have got a FAMAS from the French dude easier, French police easier than the British one.
Yeah, I know. I would have liked to have one of those ones that the beef eaters have. What are those? Are those what are the beef the Royal Guard?
Okay.
What are their bullpups? Do you know? They have some kind of
probably-
bullpup. I don't know what it is though.
Probably the SA-80.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the standard issue gun
Okay.
for the Brits. But yeah, that abomination. Yeah, the
Can
SA-80.
we import those, Walter, or no?
No, never did. Thank
No.
God.
Yeah. So let me go ahead.
They were a problem from the start because
Yeah.
the Brits, they just weren't made right to begin with.
Yeah. Let me throw some guns up here since we're doing this kind of early. I'm going to throw something up here. This right here, I've shown this to lots of people. We're going to do another video. I do have a video on it. It's the Defiance Dmk 22 with the LOVA handguard that we see here. And right there, you see that silver barrel in there? That's an integral suppressor from Elevated Science. Or Elevated Silence. Elevated Silence. I don't know why I always want to say Elevated Science. Elevated Silence. There you go. So this is integrally suppressed 22. And just to show you guys, so now this is not the 22 magazine it uses. This is an AR magazine. But, fits in the well. The magazine it uses looks like that, except it's a 22 one that you get in the conversions and all that kind of stuff. It can use the Ruger one. So that's really I'm really happy with this. I'll get some videos out. And then the other thing, I have my SBR here. Check that out. Boom. So that's my Armalite SBR lower, and I forgot what's this? The Law. What is it? I'm trying to remember the name of this thing. Is it the Law Tactical folder?
The $200 hinge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Law Tactical. There it goes. It's right there on it.
But you can't shoot it folded.
No, you can't. No, you can't. And it has a PWS upper on it that I actually got from my brother Anonymous. So I'm putting I'm just messing around with this. I haven't put any optics or even a flash hider or anything on there. I mean, I could also just do a direct thread suppressor on that bad boy. But it's not bad. Not bad.
I like it. I like it.
I'm just messing
Are we
around
allowed
with
to
it.
talk? Are we allowed to talk about what you sent me in the mail?
Yes, you can actually.
I have a 308 AR-10 gun. It's GunTech, correct?
Yes, GunTech.
GunTech.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kit that I've got to assemble.
Yep.
That we will be shooting and playing with and experimenting with and things like that. So.
Yeah. DCG44 says elevator what? No, it's Elevated Silence. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna pull them up because they're also on Instagram for you guys who want to check them out.
The pants said, of course, I'm thinking she blinded me with science.
Yeah, it's Elevated Silence. Here, I'll throw it up. So check out. This is their Instagram right here. If you guys want to go check it out. And I'm gonna throw up some pictures and things like that. But yeah, this is them. Elevated Silence. They've got really cool suppressors, including Ruger 1022, because that Defiance DMK uses a Ruger 1022 barrel, so you could swap it out, which is what we did. DC2 Mega Boost said that's sweet. Thank you. Billy
TRB 0088 says JP Riverside crushing on Hank Strange. What? Thank you, brother. I'll try. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a gun expert, but I think I know enough to get around a little bit.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming on. So California, man, you Californians, you guys have to try to you got to try to push back on what's going on there. And look, there's stuff going on all over the country, right? This is the thing that we're trying to sell.
It's a never-ending stream in California.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's one thing after another, and it's just like they want to beat the people down to where they say fuck it and they give up. So.
I think California is going to backfire on them. I don't know. If you look at all the homeless people on the street, LA's a disaster, San Francisco's a disaster. Eventually, they're gonna have to break and say this isn't working. I hope. So.
Eventually, it's going to become something out of a movie like Escape from L.A. You guys ever saw that movie with Kurt Russell?
To be the true Wild Wild West.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy, man. Because you can't keep doing this. You can't just keep taxing people and hitting people upside the head and think you're going to solve everything that way. But I guess they're just going to keep going.
Happens in towns in Connecticut where the neighbor in town has a lower mill rate than you, a tax rate, and then everybody flees a higher tax town and they suffer. Then what do? They make high taxes on more people. Then eventually the businesses leave. It's not gonna work. I don't know why they don't understand it. It's not gonna work.
Yeah.
People leave. They're gonna leave, and they're gonna go to the towns or the states where there's less tax.
But eventually you can't use that leaving tactic. Like where are you gonna run to eventually?
You have family. You got a lot of things that might keep you in the state, and it just sucks for you.
Yeah. Richard Hughes says Florida Constitution amendment to ban ARs. I know they're trying that. It's not. We should not let that happen here in Florida. Kathleen Music Lover says doing the same in Washington. Of course, Washington State is going through things. And you know what? That's when we would expect the NRA should be out there like fighting back. But one of our other lead subjects tonight.
What are they?
Yeah, go ahead, Walt.
What are they doing? They're out. They're fighting amongst each other. Is what they're doing.
Yeah, they're eating themselves. There's an article I wanted to bring up that says basically they have a circular firing squad going on. There's an interesting article. It's not. I don't know if it's a pro 2A or pro anything article. It's gonna sound rough, but I do want to read it to you guys. Let me see. I'm gonna pull it up here. I think it was the New York Post. Let me see if I can get it to populate up here. There's some stuff on the truth about guns that I'm going to go into, but I just want to throw this up here really quick. Food for thought: the collapse of NRA's marketing outrage scam, quote unquote. That's what they're calling it. So basically, it's showing an NRA TV set at the Indiana Convention Center during the National Rifle Association convention in April 2019. This is probably them getting packed up because we can see some boxes here. The top ranks of the National Rifle Association have formed a circular firing squad, and NRA TV is the latest victim. It's a welcome blow to the lucrative nonprofit racket of milking moral outrage. This is the writer talking. Not me, just so you guys know. But I think, you got to read through some of this stuff. Known for insanely over-the-top talk and stunts, the 24-hour live stream network was run by the NRA's advertising firm, Ackerman McQueen, Inc., but NRA TV's days were numbered once the group stopped paying the firm in the wake of its epic insider profiteering scandals. Staring down the barrel of an investigation by New York State Attorney General Tish James, NRA leaders began turning on each other around the group's annual convention in April, with longtime CEO Wayne LaPierre and President Oliver North blasting away one another. North was gone by the meeting's end. Amid the crossfire, word broke that the NRA had paid Ackerman McQueen a whopping $40 million in 2017. With no accounting as to what the cash went for. The NRA wound up suing, alleging the ad agency was withholding financial documents and halted payments. That triggered an Ackerman McQueen countersuit for $50 million. Then LaPierre co-filed a second lawsuit claiming the agency had been behind North's failed executive coup, and had released confidential information in a bid to smear the NRA. Meanwhile, North accused LaPierre of billing the ad agency $200,000 in wardrobe purchases over the last 15 years. Millions of NRA members are left to ask why they should fund an outfit rife with financial mismanagement and apparent insider beak wetting, compromising its supposed goal of defending Second Amendment rights. Before anyone on the left feels too smug about this, the author writes here, they should take a look at the travails of the Southern Poverty Law Center, a liberal non-profit similarly notorious for over-the-top claims that is also now melting down over insider abuse. Right, left, or center, someone is always happy to take your money in exchange for pressing your buttons. The louder their shouts, the more likely they're picking your pocket. So that was just an interesting article. Let me see who wrote this. This is by the New York Post editorial board, actually. So I listen. They're obviously not pro Second Amendment like we are, but there's the truth rings through what they're saying there, right? $40 million in 2017. Where did that go?
They're going to need to. I think if what people need to start doing with the NRA, they don't need to send their funds and they support some other groups. And then once they start to run out of money, then maybe they'll start saying, all right, we got to support what the people truly believe in, what we should have believed. But money, power, it's like the Sympathy of Destruction Megadeth song. Anybody gets power and money, it just makes them mad.
Yeah.
But hopefully they start to get hurt a little bit by not, people not supporting them as much, and supporting some other group is going to actually protect our Second Amendment rights.
Yeah. What they need to do. What they need to do. So Len Holt says $200K over 15 years. That's not a lot of money. I think. I think we're getting bits and pieces of the puzzle here, in terms of all the money that was spent and what it went to and all that kind of stuff. I think overall, what's happening is they're really not representing us. This is not why we gave them the money. So that's the money that the members are giving to them. And we're giving them that money so that we're not here talking about how California is making you go through background checks for ammo and all the things going on in other states, so that we're not here in Florida where we have gun control effectively, and then they're trying to put, ban AR-15s through the Constitution and all that crap. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. DCG 44 says the NRA has become the NRM, National Rifle Mess. And then go ahead, Walter. Did you want to jump in?
Well, the whole thing with the board member being penalized because he voiced his opinion or he's like this, that's the problem right there.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be my next thing, so I'm going to throw this up here. This is in the Truth About Guns. And NRA board member Tim Knight punished for criticism of org's leadership and spending. Currently serving his second term, National Rifle Association board member Tim Knight says he's paying a price for speaking out against the Wayne LaPierre leadership team at the NRA and its profligate spending. In a Facebook post published hours ago, he details how he lost committee assignments and has been relegated to the sidelines. In other words, Wayne and his cronies have marginalized another critic. And he goes on to talk about this. I do, from time to time, talk to Tim Knight. And what he was telling me, like, this is something that we're talking about here. What we need to do is we need to do what we can to pull the money out from these guys if we want to, like, starve them out. Because this is a siege situation going on now, right? So they're in the castle, they've got the drawbridge up, the moat is there, and we got to starve them out by not giving them money, but also asking other companies out there to not give them money.
There's a lot of corporate money going to the NRA.
Yeah.
Well, look at their magazine and see who advertises in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unfortunately, yeah. And it just continues to happen and happen and happen. And who fundraises for them and who collects that extra penny when you buy something at Midway or something like that.
Right.
That extra quarter.
Yeah. We've got to ask. We've got to listen. I think we can do it. We can approach Midway and other companies out there in a calm, respectful manner and say, listen, we're the guys buying stuff from you. We're the guys who've supported the NRA, who believe in the Second Amendment. To help us, we're asking you to starve these guys out until they make the changes that the country needs right now if we're going to maintain any kind of Second Amendment rights at all. We can ask these guys to do this.
These FUD board members that are so, I guess, entrenched, we'll say. I mean, it's like, come on, guys, wake up, come out of the country club there, and or stop shooting your clay pigeons and come out and see some real people in the world. I mean, it's like, I don't know how you really go. I don't know how you change it. I don't think you might not be able to.
We may not be able to, but we do stand a chance if we can get the companies to get behind it with us. And I think they're already being affected.
They will understand the money part.
I think Yeah.
That
They
is
don't
the only
understand.
true thing that they'll understand is money.
Money,
Yes.
absolutely.
And I think by the time they understand, it might be too late for them. That's what I think. Like I think they might not get it. And maybe they're too elite for us now. Who knows? The common folk, right? So they better catch on to what people are saying, because I know a lot of people aren't sending their dues in. And like Walt says, when you start losing money, who knows? It might be too late.
Yeah.
I hope not, because you want a voice. You want multiple voices for a Second Amendment. So hopefully they get their shit together. Sorry if I curse.
No, that's fine, man.
Hopefully they get their stuff together and listen to the common folk. Everybody forgets to listen to the guys, and that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You should listen to the lowest person on your team, and because he might have a great point. Everybody's perspective is different. So just because you're a hot shot, you shouldn't be listening to the smallest guy, because the smallest guy may have a great idea.
Right.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not saying that we can't do this without them. Of course we can. It's going to be a lot more difficult to do it, but we can still do it. We have to figure out a way to organize and have other organizations and ways. Even the money doesn't. The money is not just with the NRA, right? We need the pressure that goes on the politicians who are supposedly for the Second Amendment or for the Constitution. They need that pressure. We can't just willy-nilly give those guys license to do whatever they want, and then they keep taking away our rights, and we're funding them. We've got to pull the funding from those guys as well, or they have to know what the pressure is, and that's the NRA's job and other organizations' jobs out there, and ours as well, right? But what we're doing is we are giving money to the politicians, but we are calling them up and saying this. And the NRA and other organizations, we're relying on them to take a look at these guys and say, hey, guys, get together, stand up against this onslaught that's coming, and they're not doing it. They're giving those guys permission to do the stuff that's happening. So is it possible? I think it is possible, but I think the more time that goes on here, the less possible it is, like what you're saying, JP. If these guys, I don't know, the question comes down to LaPierre that's running this thing like Putin from the inside. If he really does care about the Second Amendment and he wants to do something, he could step down. He could walk away and, put in place the proper kind of rules and leadership that could actually do something and be accountable to us, or not. Right? Because eventually we'll go through all of these things. The thing is time. Because if we're pulling the money, then we have to put pressure on the companies out there to pull the money. All of that's time that's getting wasted. So Flopping Garbage says teaching a fish to fly, not going to happen.
Somebody said I need a hot toddy.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I need more than a hot toddy.
Yeah.
I need more than a hot toddy.
So Archangel says NRA could rot in hell. The NRA has had their hands in taking the rights from free gun owners since the NFA all the way to the red flag laws and bump stocks.
Yep.
Want to change things, Hank? Let the NRA burn.
Yep.
They
are.
There's
nothing too large to fail.
Yeah.
Nope. That's the problem. When you think you're too big, you do fail. Everybody falls when you get too cocky.
Yeah.
Well, it's, listen, we're either going to stand up and fight for it or we're not, either we're going to let this happen and wash over us and just turn in our guns, or we're not. I would rather not get to that day when people have to make these decisions, or people have to get out there and actually start fighting each other, or dudes start showing up to confiscate things from people, so
it won't be me.
Yeah, it's not going to be pleasant. It's not going to be fun times. So
I hope the police are smarter than that, because but there are people who will do what they're told.
Yes.
In fear of losing their job. So and unfortunately there could be a lot of stuff happen.
Yeah.
It could be a little mini civil war, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that could be fun. Wish on anybody.
Because to be quite honest, the police are outnumbered, far outnumbered.
Oh, we know that.
and if people knew how, even in the major metropolitan areas, there's so few the numbers. Oh, yeah. I mean, and be honest with the average Joe is armed pretty well. I mean, you pull out your 30-06 and start shooting, there's nothing going to stop it. I mean, or you pull out your 243 Winchester and start shooting, there's nothing going to stop it. So
M1A1. I mean, how many people get those? They want to ban ARs, but the M1A1, nasty gun.
I mean, 30-30. There's not much going to stop a 30-30. So
nope. That's the biggest. Everybody has a 30-30 in their house.
Yeah.
Common, hunting around.
Yeah, those aren't going to be fun times for anyone in America on any side.
And we don't wish that on anybody.
No, and I hope people are smart enough. The politicians are not smart enough to see that because all they lust is for power.
Yeah.
But they're not the henchmen that have to go out and do the dirty work.
Nope. It's guys that are regular people, that families, that care about the community. That's it's just like the common soldier, that goes fights war for the government. Right. You're fighting for your buddy. You're not fighting for, So I hope it never gets to that point, and hope I'm not live to see that. So
let's hope not. But there are people that are pushing people to that so that can happen. I think they would. Some people would like to see it happen.
Courtesy says the UN to be correct. UN would get smoked.
God! I mean, yeah, sure. Come on, bring in a bunch of African soldiers, please. Please bring in the Nigerian army in here to the U.S. Come on.
Yeah,
I mean, unfortunately, that which would happen, they'd bring the poor guys in that don't have a damn bit of sense in it.
They have no idea.
Right, and they'd get slaughtered.
They'd get slaughtered.
I mean, that'd be like me going into a town in Nigeria. There's a good chance, unless we had overwhelming force, I would probably die. So
the civilians out-arm. Like almost the military, not really, but like civilian market. There's millions and millions of guns. There's how many guns you have in your house.
There's no other. See, there's something unique about the United States when all these other countries that don't have guns and they threaten to do this, they haven't had guns for a long time.
No,
we've had guns forever, and we have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of fucking guns. Mm-hmm. So,
and we know how to use them.
And whether it's a 22 or a 50 cal, there would be hell to pay. I
love how everybody debates pistol rounds, calibers. Yeah, some are better than the others, but let me tell you something. You shoot me a 22 long rifle, I'm not going to wait to see where that was. I'm going to be like, oh shit, I'm hit. It's a vital spot. Am I going to die? Like the common person gets hit by any round. The common person, that's someone on drugs, but you get hit, you're like, shit, I might die.
I'll take a 22 with a can any day in an urban environment.
Oh yeah, and
I'll come out ahead because I don't care how much body armor you have. There's always a space, but right here.
Oh yeah, yep, exactly.
And done.
Yeah, the way for them to defeat us is to turn us all into soy boys, which they're trying to go that route too.
The way to defeat us is to turn us into a socialist country. We're almost there.
Right.
That's what's going to defeat us.
That's what they're trying to do. Yeah.
But
I think that's politicians and their views there. I don't think the man on the street wants to be. Once they start saying they want like the Bernie Sanders thing, I want 70% of your income.
Oh yeah, okay.
Really? Oh well, I guess if you don't pay any taxes now, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So if you're a college student or someone in high school, maybe that sounds good. But when I say, hey, you made $100, give me $70, like what? Like what are you gonna do with it? Well, I'm gonna do what's good for you, buddy. Don't worry. I'm gonna live in my mansion, my gated communities.
I'm gonna take away.
Good.
I'm gonna take away your
trash pickup every week for you. How about that?
I'm gonna make a plan to take away your straws. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna recycle to save the planet. That kind of stuff, which kills me. Mm-hmm. I got a paper from the Safety Harbor, City of Safety Harbor, like they do a thing that tells what's going on in the community, and they have a program for, stop using straws. Come down and get a reusable straw from the city. And I'm like, I sure hope they tell you how to wash that straw out.
Yeah.
But
that was probably like it cost the government probably like $100 for that straw. They pocketed like $99 and then spend all on a straw.
That's something to do with the federal government, probably. But I don't know. It's just that mentality,
and trust me, I'm all for recycling this and that. I mean, if you could help out, help out. But like, I think in Connecticut, if you look it up, I'm not saying it's 100%, but they burn most of their recyclable stuff. It says it costs a lot of money to recycle stuff. So they end up burning a lot of it.
And they burn it, make electricity probably.
Yeah, exactly. So like they say to recycle it, but it costs a lot of money, I guess, to recycle stuff.
And our like in Sweden and Norway, they don't recycle; they burn it and make electricity.
Yeah, they're burning it.
It's more efficient to burn it and use it for that than to try to recycle it. So, but anyways, that's your government money at work. When you hand that 70% over, they're gonna, figure out somebody to give it away to. So. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So, have you guys gotten that? You're awake? Good.
The straw thing pisses me off. Sorry. Yeah. There's so many other things going on.
That's where you get activated?
There's so many more important things. Meanwhile, while people are flooding the country and everything, we're worried about straws.
Yeah.
So,
if you want to fix, the emergency on the border, and ban straws, whatever you want to do, but you have to choose your fight. Spend your money where it belongs. I'm not against if you want to drink out of paper straw, whatever. That's up to you.
Yeah, that's your world.
But spend the money on, like everybody doesn't think the border is a crisis. It has nothing to do with race. It has to do with they come over and hopefully they want to do good in America, but they're taking social services. So you think the people on social services here that lean left most of the time would think, well, I'm going to have less money if more people come. They're going to depend on social services. So hopefully, it's all about, if you do it the right way, come into America. We want you. But do it the right way, just like everybody else did it. Just like Hank did, just like everybody else does it. Do it the right way. Join the military. Serve your country. Show that you care. And that's a good thing. Who could hate you on that? Yep, I wanted to be a citizen. I joined the military. I gave back something to America. And I'm a citizen now. Good for you. Mm-hmm. And I'll sit right beside you. I'll fight with you all day long. Just be productive.
Yeah, but I think the big part of that is you want to support what it was that made you want to come to America, not like the imaginary belief that there's like milk and honey flowing on the streets.
The milk and honey.
And money growing from the trees, huh?
Well, I said Bernie Sanders wants to give everything free, and when people hear that, they want to come.
Well, they do get it for free. That's why they're coming here. It's not. If you can get in here and get you get it. It's like, and it's we can't afford it. Period. So, anyways.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. Let's go to some other stuff. I see there's some people happily having fights in the chat or whatever. You guys can.
What are they fighting about tonight?
I don't know. They can just go ahead and knock themselves out.
I heard CZOs have a place in their hemp holster for their reusable straw. There was a time back in the 80s when you had a reusable straw. You used it for, you needed a straw, a straw. Anyways.
Yeah, okay, Walter.
Cocaine.
Yeah, straw, okay, all right. Let me see. Okay, so listen, we've got someone who's serving in law enforcement right now. Let's cover some law enforcement stuff. So one of the ones I'm gonna go with is I don't know if you guys heard this story or not, but there's a story: Florida deputy dragged twice by suspect during traffic stop video shows, and there's videos and pictures and stuff like that of what went on here. Did you guys hear about this story of the Florida deputy that pulled this guy over?
Oh, you just informed me tonight. I've been a little.
Yeah. Okay. So
I heard about it, but I don't know the details.
All right. So here we go. I'll read it as quickly as I can here. Florida deputy was dragged twice by a suspect during a routine traffic stop. Police video shows the Seminole County Sheriff's deputy had pulled over the suspect, a Popka resident, Rocky Rudolph Jr., 38. On
Hank, can you go back to that picture with his hand on the car? You scroll down when you're reading it.
Yeah.
You see his hand on the car. That's not. I'm not criticizing them, but you really shouldn't be reaching into the car,
Yeah. So basically, there's a ton of this story out there. So I guess he pulled this guy over. Let me see. I'm trying to see. Okay, for tinted windows. Been there. So he pulled him over for tinted windows, and then I guess they were having a conversation, and then he smelled marijuana. The guy was like smoking some kind of cigar. Could be to cover up maybe what was in there, whatever. The deputy was smelling it. He was asking the guy to put the car in park right, and shut the engine off. And then the guy got really, like, his level of agitation went way up. You know, once he started asking him about the marijuana, he started driving off with the, I guess, like with the cop trying to hold on to the car somehow. Like you said, he's got his arms inside of the vehicle. And then the guy stops, and then he drives off again. I think the police officer fired into the car a couple times, hit this guy in the leg at least once. Yeah, it's a situation. It's out there. What do you want to say about this, JP, since this is kind of like your wheelhouse? And obviously, you don't know all the facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, every circumstance is different. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened with that officer. But the number one rule is you don't reach in a car. If the guy's going to take off on me, he's going to take off on me. I mean, I don't want to ever reach into that car because your instinct, because we want to win, right? We want to get that guy. Like, I'd want to get him too. And you want to grab him, maybe try to drag him out the window. But you have to assess, was his seatbelt on? I don't know what he was trying to do. Or he could have been completely, the guy grabbed his arm and drove off. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. So his arm could have been in the area, and then he grabbed him and then drove off. But a lot of times people get excited and they reach into the car to grab the guy, and they take off and they get tangled up in the seatbelt.
You're going to get dragged along by it, yeah.
So the number one rule, without being in that situation, not being excited and tunnel vision, all that, if you get that, is don't reach into the car. That's just the number one rule. You don't reach into the car. If he drives away and he gets away with a little bit of weed, maybe that's at least you're okay.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I mean, if you get run over by that car or whatever,
or you get injured, well, that'd be your last day being a policeman. So.
Yeah. At the same time, so when I looked at this video, I think I do agree with what you're saying now, right? I looked at the video. I know you guys haven't had a chance to look at it. I don't know if you could pull it up maybe and try to look at it when we were talking about it. It looks like he pulled the guy over and they were having like a cool conversation in the beginning, but then he smells weed, which is very difficult to cover up. It looks like the guy was smoking some kind of cigar, and he was saying, oh, yeah, I'm just smoking this cigar. And then the officer's telling him, listen, if you're smoking weed for like recreational purposes, I don't care. I think the guy was trying to say that he had I guess in Florida for medicinal purposes, right, you can get a card or whatever here.
You can too.
Yeah, they were having this conversation, but then it looks like the driver just like escalated and panicked about something. And looking at what it says here, this guy's is like been arrested like 30 something times.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Okay.
He probably had a lot more than weed in that car, and he knew he was going to go back to jail. So, like a little bit of weed, a cop, in Connecticut, under a half ounce, you get a ticket. It's like $150 infraction that you can send in, right? Mm-hmm. But a lot of, it's funny. Criminals aren't too smart. They'll smoke weed, but they'll have guns and pounds of cocaine in the car, and that's given us like plain view would be smelling that weed. Now we can search that car because I don't know if you have more than a half ounce and makes it criminal or not. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to search that car. So the cop is trying to make him calm by saying, I don't care if you have municipal weed. He's trying to de-escalate it with the guy to make it sound it's not that big a deal.
Yeah, but he intends now. So obviously that police officer now, once he's alerted, he intends to go through this vehicle, right? And I think the guy...
Like, I know I'm going to that car. Like, he's probably doing,
Right.
I'm going to go through it, but he's trying to de-escalate by saying it's not that big of a deal, man.
So this guy's been here.
Weed, I don't care.
Right. Now, this guy's been here before. He's panicking. Yes. Maybe he's on probation. He's like, shit, I don't want to go back in. He's panicking. Here's where he messed up. He starts taking off with this police officer hanging, like you said, maybe not the smartest thing in the world for this guy to be hanging on to this vehicle, right? He's hanging on. Yeah. So now you're in like an attempted murder situation. You're not going. It's not going downhill. It's going to get more. It's going to get more difficult from here. It's probably going to go downhill, right? It's not going to get easier from here because you take off.
And it's a funny thing is he could have had 4 pounds of weed in the car or just had a suspended license. How many people with like little violations take off on you or do something really stupid, and you're like, dude, I would just give you a summons to go to court. It wouldn't have been that big a deal. You'd be not guilty, went to the DMV, got your license fixed, went to court, and they would have tossed it. But they just, that's why criminals aren't smart. They don't know. They listen to the left media saying that we're going to shoot you for no reason. We're going to shake you down for no reason. Listen, the only time I'm meeting you is if I say hi to you into a store and I'm nice to you, or I see you in my gun store, I'll visit, or if you're a criminal. like, or you run a red light. I'm not just stopping people to stop people. I don't know any cop that does that. You know, like I've been in law enforcement for 17 and a half years. We're stopping people that draw attention to themselves.
The minute you do that, you know you're in the danger zone, right? I mean, let's be honest. For whatever reason you do it, whether like, you know, I listen, I think in some places you have the reality that guys get rewarded for giving out tickets and stuff like that. That's the reality.
Yeah, we don't have a quota. Obviously, they want you to go out there and do traffic enforcement because it cuts down on that. It's called traffic enforcement helps with education. Hey, Hank, I pulled you over because your tints are dark. I'm going to educate you this time. I'm not going to give you a ticket. You know, it's for my safety. I can't see if you're pointing a gun at me when I walk up to the car, or your muffler's too loud. Hey, you have a headlight out. How many people know they have a headlight out? I'll stop people for headlights out, and I'll just tell them, hey, you know, you got a headlight out. But how many times I stopped someone for a headlight out and got some really big stuff out of it? So, like the criminals, if you're going to drive a car, they'll drive 10 smoked weed, but they'll have 4 pounds of and guns in the car, but they'll have 4 pounds of coke. They're not smart.
Yeah.
Drive. Nice
if you've got a record, if you've been arrested a lot, leave it alone. You know? Do that at home.
But you don't have to be the guy that you know, driving around with a bunch of illegal stuff in their car. Don't make sure your car's legit. You know, like they're just not smart people. They're not. Yeah. They had to keep it real all the time. So
yeah. So this guy did get shot. He wound up getting shot in the leg. You know, I think there's a lot that went wrong here, like you said, man. He should have. If this guy drove off, he should have been able to let this guy drive off safely because you could track him down. You got his plates. You know who he is. You know, and they were able to track this guy down eventually. Maybe the guy grabbed the officer's arm. It happens. Guys will grab onto an officer's arm and they'll take off on him just because, you know. That does happen. It looked like something like that happened. But I think once the guy got panicked of like, hey, I might get arrested, you know, it looks like, and then he didn't want the cop. I think the cop panicked too, right? If you see someone panicking, you better panic. Now, once that person starts escalating their demeanor, but what I'm saying to you, once someone starts escalating their demeanor, you can't stay calm. This person's about to go into fight or flight mode. You want to start thinking. So all of that just made them both like clash with each other. And I think in the end, they both got away pretty lucky. The police officer got lucky he didn't get run over by this guy. You know, the guy got lucky that he only got shot in the leg.
So a lot of times when we're standing there, we know we have a real bad guy there. There'll be like 3 of us standing up, and all of a sudden he'll turn his body to the right where there's a clear path. So when you're an older officer and you have a few years on, you know what you're doing. Looking for a path to run because it's fight or flight, right? Or give up. So all of a sudden you walk in front. It's a test. I'll walk in front of the guy. Cut that
does he turn? Yeah.
And then he'll turn the next way. I know what's going on already. I know it's not going to go well.
Yeah.
And hopefully everybody in your squad is understanding that too. And most guys do. The new guys, sometimes they don't have a freaking clue. And that's where I'm an FTO field training officer. That's where you want to tell those guys. You have to look for those slight little clues. I observe people all the time. That's all I do. I look at waistbands. I look at bulges in their waistband. I'm looking. First thing I do when I walk up in a car, I'm looking for their hands. They're not going to sidekick me in the face and kill me. Like, I'm looking for hands. Hands are going to kill me. So I'm looking if their foot's on the brake. I'm looking if they're looking in their rear view mirror. There's all these little signs that are going to tell you they're going to take off or they're going to fight you or whatever. They give them to you. So after years on, you know when it's going to go bad. And that cop probably knew it was going to go bad. And he told him, like, that's why he said, hey, if you have a little bit of weed, I'm not worried about it. So I just don't know. Did he reach in? That's a no-no. You don't reach in the cars because the car's going to win. It weighs a lot more than you. And grab the person. Or did the bad guy grab him? I didn't see the video, so I can't criticize him. But if he did grab in the car, it's a no-no. You know, because you're not going to win that. You know? Yeah. So I don't know. So how do you, like, in this situation, he wanted the guy to shut the engine off. If the guy's not doing that, what do you do? Yeah, it's all compliance. It's all. But what if the guy? So what if the guy's not doing it? Do you back away from the vehicle, or do you? In Connecticut, you can. So like, you want to de-escalate it. If he takes off on you, takes off on you. No one gets hurt, right? That's new policing, right? But you can order someone up north. You want people to stay in the car, right? And down south, I think people get out of the car and talk to the cop. Depends on where it is. It's not a good policy. I think that's what happened with me, but I don't think that's the best policy. They don't like you to get out of the car. Yeah. No. Certain places, like, they have them get out, but we don't do that. We want you, and when you start to get out of the car, I'm like, why are you trying to get away from that car? Is there something bad in there? Is there drugs in there, guns in there? Usually people want to get away from things, right? If it's bad. So you'll see people try to they'll close the door, run away from the car, but whoa, get back in your car. Like, because they're trying to get away from the bad. Or they have drugs in their pocket or a gun. They'll always touch their body. Walk into the store when you're carrying and see what happens. You always check your shirt to see if it's over your gun, right? So like there's little simple things clues that people give away and you should be observing that. And most cops, not all, pick up on those things. You see these little things, and it's all compliance tests. Turn your car off. No, I'm not turning my car off. All right, strike one. This guy's not going to be. It's not going to go bad. But he had hopefully the car, like in Connecticut, if I run a plate, the vehicle information pops up, and then the owner driver ID pops up. So if I run the plate before I stop them, and I click on that picture of that the whoever owns that car, and I walk up and I see that person, that guy could take off all day. I'm just going to write a warrant for him. Right. I'll get him later. I'm not going to risk. I have 5 kids. I want to go home to them. Yeah. So I'm going to let that guy screw loose. When you're young, it's hard because we don't want to lose. We're type A personalities, right? We want to win. We want to get the bad guy. But you have to assess it. It's like in the Army, to give you a risk assessment card. And what that card is, you weigh your risk. There's always going to be a risk in life, but how much risk do you want to take? Yeah. So you just, you have to make split-second decisions in law enforcement, and some people make those decisions better than others. Yeah. And no one's perfect. We're all human, so.
Yeah, that's true. We are. I mean, I know when I got pulled over, I did what you said. Like, the guy said, "Oh, you armed?" And I made the mistake of tapping my side. He was like, yeah, don't do it.
Hey, don't do that.
But, I think, listen, I know this is tough to say, right? Because there's some people that are career criminals. But often, if you think about this, the energy, the time that goes into being a criminal, if you just put that into something else, you could live your life not 100% free. Unfortunately, we're not 100% free as we should be in the world or in America. But you can live a lot freer than doing all these different things and getting involved in this,
There's a lot of self-destructive behavior, and we all probably have it in our brains, right? So when you grow up poor, you grow up in the ghetto, or wherever you live, right? Wherever you're growing up, if you have positive role models, you might make it. If you have zero positive role models, you're not going to make it probably. It's going to take a lot to get out of there. So some people make it, but it's a small amount, right? So we need to get some positive people into poor areas and help people. Like that's where they should be spending their money on. Positive role models. Oh, I can make it in life. This guy, I look just like Hank. I can make it. Hank made it. I can make it, And how many people do they look at the same race that made it? And that's a problem. You need to have people that been there, done it, and say, you know what, I believe in you. And they don't have that. Yeah. They don't have that support structure.
You need to see another way, man. People get panicked. I think, we somehow get like backed into corners, and we get panicked, and we believe like this is the end and all that kind of stuff. And and that's how we do stupid, crazy things. I think it happens to all of us one way or another if you get backed into a corner.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So
some people don't make great decisions in split-second decisions.
Yeah.
So the guy taking off made a bad decision. Maybe the cop, if he did reach in, bad decision. Yeah. So I don't know what happened. I can't really criticize the man.
We'll see what it comes of. So here, let's get into something here that Walter's going to like. Donuts. Oh, so we're going to talk donuts, and we're going to still talk cops. We're still going to talk cops here.
I was going to say, is it donuts and police?
We can talk donuts. I don't eat them, but we can do it.
Do you go to donut shops a lot, JP?
So why? Here's why cops, everybody's associated with donuts. I'll explain it.
I'm not. Listen, look, I'm a fat dude. I'm not against. I'm pro. No, I'm pro donut. No. I'm pro donut.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know what donut shops sell? Coffee. And cops live off of caffeine because we're doing so much overtime. So you'll see us go into, Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks or wherever you want to, and it's usually a pastry shop. But like, what goes with coffee?
Sugar.
Donut. Pastry.
Yeah.
I tell people, I just eat bagels, man. I don't even eat bagels, so. But
yeah.
Yeah, but donuts, you can't hate on donuts. It's good.
There's nothing. Yeah, I'm not gonna come down on a guy. I cannot come down on someone for going. So here's the thing from New York. Let me see if I could throw this up here on the screen. So here we go. Police repeat felon drops loaded gun in donut shop in full, full view of cops. So here we go. So New York, this happened in New York, yo. Of all the places,
I was there last night.
Yeah. Of all the places in the world for a repeat felon to drop an illegal firearm on the floor, a cop-filled donut shop is pretty much the worst spot for that to happen. 3 NYPD transit officers were at the Dunkin'/Baskin. Oh, donuts and ice cream. There's not a better combination. So they were at the Dunkin'/Baskin Robbins shop on Surf Avenue in Coney Island, yo.
Coney Island.
Shout out to Coney Island, everybody out there in Coney Island. So Coney Island on Sunday, when they say another customer adjusted his pants and dropped a loaded gun on the floor.
Yep, you know why? Because the cop was there. He knows he has a gun on him, and people touch bad things.
Yeah. So
he wanted to make sure it was secure, and guess what he did? He dropped it.
So one of the officers had a craving for cake batter ice cream when the incident happened, police said. The suspect, who investigators say is a repeat felon, was taken into custody, and they tweeted about it. They put out a tweet. I don't know if this looks. Is this a Glock? It could be. I think it's a Glock. No, this is not. No, this is not a Glock. I don't know. You guys have to look at this picture and tell me what it is. I don't think it is, actually.
Where did you find
it? It might be a SIG.
Oh,
I think we're looking at a SIG.
The handle doesn't look like the angle for it.
I'm trying to go to Twitter right now and see if we could pull it up. So here's a closer view from the NYPD thing, and then you can see the cops. You can see the cops in here. These guys are fellow Strangians. They're definitely eating donuts. Respect to those guys.
My brother's in New York City cops.
Do they have vegetable donuts? Is there,
They should make something that's tasty and good for us.
Yes.
I mean, come on. I mean, it's 2019, man. Let's go.
So I don't know. Someone's gonna have to tell me what that. I think that looks like a SIG. I don't know if anyone could see in that. If you go to Twitter, you can maybe close up on it and tell me what you think that is. I think it looks like a SIG or something like that.
Yeah, the grip angle is not a Glock grip angle.
No, it's not. It's not. I don't think it is a Glock. And the magazine does not look. The magazine looks like a SIG magazine. Let's see. The DCG 44 says not a Glock. It's not a high point either. It would look like basically it would look like a blow dryer.
Someone tube. It said HK USP. It kind of does look like an HK.
Really?
I have an HK 45C, and it kind of does it have a decocker on there?
I don't know. Walter, are you looking at that picture? I don't know if Walter's looking at that picture. C4 Defense says he should know to put the SIG down slowly. Jerry Parker says it's a yeet cannon. Oh, jeez.
That's how you get shot. You drop your freaking SIG and the cop shoots it.
Greg 98K says M&P. Philadelphia Patriot says Ruger. Okay, you guys are just calling out names now. Yeah, we need a professional opinion on that. That magazine, though, looks like it looks SIG-ish to me. The magazine, I'm gonna say, just from that little diamond in the magazine, isn't that like usually what SIGs have, Walter? I don't know. If you guys can take a look at that, let me know. So anyway, if you see a bunch of cops in the donut shop, don't go in there.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah. Definitely. Make sure you have a belt on and tighten your belt.
Yep. I had a kid.
Get a good holster. Harry's Holsters. Get a good holster from Harry's Holsters or something. Go ahead.
A kid was walking past Dairy Queen, and he readjusted, and his gun fell in front of all the kids and everybody there. So I get called to it. I'm riding there. I hit my little button, come out with my gun right away, my M4, and he reaches back, and he grabs it, and I tell him I'm going to shoot him, and he just made a movement where he threw it in the bushes. And he goes, I didn't have no gun. I'm like, come on, dude. You almost got shot right there.
Mm-hmm.
But I had control, The SWAT team, I knew the angle wasn't coming towards me. I was being clear-headed and trying to get tunnel vision, and I made a good decision not to hit him, But you could have he's going for a gun, right?
Yeah.
But I had the upper hand on him. He'd had to bring it up on me. I had an M4. He had a pistol. Who knows if he even would have worked.
Yeah. Yeah, so easily you get into a stupid situation. Yeah. Walter, can you talk, Walter? Someone says your sound is off.
Oh, my sound is off.
Yeah.
I'll go get it charged.
Yeah, you might be. I don't know. To me, you look like you're a little bit behind. You're lagging. I don't know if you have.
Yeah,
a bunch
I know.
Of
it was like that.
on.
It was like that last time, and I don't know why that is.
Yeah, you might have. I don't know if there's a bunch of devices on or what's going on there.
I don't know. I'm hooked right up to the network with a cable, so I don't know what.
So do you have any comment about this donut / ice cream situation? No,
I don't know what to say, man.
You could use a donut right now, probably.
No, I don't need no donut, man. I could use some ice cream, but no donut.
Yeah, I could use a donut, but I'm trying to. I've been packing on the pounds lately, so I'm trying to be
Stop with those.
Yeah.
Stop eating those sweets.
Yeah, no more cakes and donuts for me, man. I could only sit outside the donut shop, and smell the aroma of the donuts.
Smell the why it's going slower.
So C4 what does Sarge say? He says, just got here, why are we bitching about police today? Because we have a police officer, Sarge, on here, JP Wagner. There he goes, boom, JP. He came on, and we're talking about some law enforcement things along with other stuff. So
we're not hating on cops. We just everybody gets sensitive, but you have to know what to do and not to do. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to criticize because I don't know if the guy reached in it and the guy grabbed him, or you just have to remember. I would tell a new guy on FTO not to grab inside the car.
Yeah.
That's a teachable moment. That's all it is.
Right.
No one has to get sensitive about it.
Yeah. And so far as the guy that went into the donut shop with cops in it and dropped his gun, I'm not trying to educate criminals, but damn it, get proper holsters and proper belts, you knuckleheads. I mean,
exactly.
Seriously, look at a YouTube video. Don't.
Crazy.
I mean, I don't know. Should we try to help the criminals? No, not necessarily. Not trying to help them, but Brian Quick says the pistol is a Ruger Security 9. Okay. Ray Bozzolo said he lost 20 pounds, the cancer diet. Sorry about that, Ray. That is not fun. Yeah.
Hey, Hank, can you hear me? I just switched off earbuds. Sorry.
Yeah, we could hear you just a little. Okay, there was a little bit of feedback, but I think it's good now. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. So here's another thing. Okay, let me ask you guys here. I'm going to switch over to something a little bit different. Okay? A little bit different. Who here on the panel, will start with Walter. Did you ever, Walter, have a Sony Walkman?
No, never had one.
Never?
Never.
You never found one in a dumpster and rehabbed it?
Nope.
How the hell did you listen to music?
I didn't listen when I was walking around.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Walter.
I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
I was at home. I listened at home. I listened in the car.
Old school. Okay. What about you, JP? You ever had a Sony Walkman?
Yeah. I was in 6th grade in '86. So
wow.
4 years old. So I did have a Sony Walkman. Yes.
Yeah. I
remember when CDs came out too. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah. I did have a Sony Walkman. I guess Walter was just very underprivileged growing up. So he didn't have a Sony Walkman.
Poor white child.
Yeah, just poor white boy from Croatia.
I forgot. Yeah, right.
Where were you guys from again?
I'm from Illinois. Come on.
From Illinois. Okay, they're fine. So CNN Business Insider has this: Happy 40th birthday, Walkman. So the Walkman has been around for 40 years.
They still make Sony Walkman?
They do.
In what format? What do they use for? CDs?
I remember they were cassettes, and then they did go to the little mini discs. I don't know what they are nowadays for the young people, but they're probably not selling a lot of them because of this thing called the iPhone. But the Sony Walkman first hit the market July 1st, 1979. Kaboom! Walter, at that point you were already 120 years old, so that's why you never had one.
Actually, I was a senior in high school. So.
Yeah, that's why I can't believe I had Sony Walkmans in New York at the risk of my own life. They robbed you.
Well, they weren't cheap either, and I just didn't want to spend my money on them.
They were like $200. That's what it says in this thing.
I'd rather just go out and get some drinks or something.
Yeah, they had the knockoffs. You had the knockoffs, the cheaper versions, but I used to get mine like fresh from Japan, man. I used to get the fanciest ones. I don't
right
know.
off the boat.
Yeah,
Right off the boat.
fresh from Japan. I just love the Sony Walkman, man. Changed my life. You know. But yes, it
man.
was dangerous being on the subway with a Walkman, but whatever.
All right, did this help any? No, I guess it didn't. I'm trying to figure out why the delay is.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
'Cause I was
Here's
using it
something
to-
you could try. Minimize your Skype window. Don't close it. Just minimize it and put it down in the dock. So, you know.
Yeah, but I can't see. I can't see anything. Then.
Oh, yeah, you won't be able to see anything. Just look into the camera, Walter. You look good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You're looking sexy right now. Looking sexy.
I'm
You're a
looking
little.
at it.
You're a little green. You're a little green.
No, the also the video's delayed too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know what
Right.
what's up with that.
Yeah, Simpson Road Larry says he just found his old Sony Walkman. Wonder if it's worth it. Man, I wish I still had a Walkman just for. I remember all those days in the 80s reading and listening to music on the Sony Walkman. Kept me off the streets. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Some of those bootleg tapes.
Yep. Bootleg tapes, yes, yeah. You know, you remember we used to make your own mixtapes.
I recorded my own stuff.
Go no Hot 97.1 in New York.
Yeah.
Good music, man.
Yeah. The Walkmans had a radio and they had a cassette. Yeah, you're right, man.
You had the recorder right.
Yeah.
You had all the hip hop. You know, if you listen to that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
everything. So.
Yeah. So 40 years old, man. You know, shout out to that. Okay, I just wanted to bring up something a little bit. So here's another thing, since we're talking about law enforcement a little bit here, we could see what JP thinks about this one as well. Broward County Sheriff's Office loses accreditation after school massacre, Florida airport shooting in a report. So the largest sheriff's office in Florida sustained another blow after it was revealed Monday that a state panel last week voted to revoke the law enforcement accreditation of the controversial department in the wake of mishandling two major mass shootings in its jurisdiction. The Commission for Florida Law Enforcement accreditation, however you say it, I'm sure I'm messing it up, voted 13 to 0 on Wednesday to strip the Broward County Sheriff's Office of accreditation, citing the missteps from the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland in 2018 that killed 17 people, and the 2017 Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport shooting, according to a recording of the meeting obtained by the Miami Herald. That's interesting.
Yep.
Oh, we've now totally lost Walter. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
It's all
Yeah, let me see. We're not seeing your audio, your video.
Okay, well, I'll switch back to the other one. I'm playing with things.
Right, yeah.
I'll be back.
Yeah, okay. So what do you think about that, JP?
What I think is training costs money, right? So I think it's just a lack of training, possibly, of, our PD does active shooter every year. Every patrolman gets it. We have our own ERT team, SWAT team, and it's a part-time team. So you have all those guys that have been on SWAT, they're in patrol. So if I go to a call where there's guys that aren't as having as much training as I do, mm-hmm. I will take them on a win. I become the team leader, right? I tell them what we're going to do and all that. And that's one good thing about having a part-time SWAT team is that those guys are in patrol on midnights, evening shift, and day shift. And then I just came off the ERT team, I did 12 and a half years. I just want to be able to walk when I'm 60 because all the gear, right. I'm 220. I put my gear on. I'm 287. So I did enough of.
You need an exosuit, like a RoboCop exosuit.
No, I need it. My back hurts. So it all it comes down to training. You have to, allot money to train them because you have guys that never been put in a situation before and they're out there flopping. Yeah. So you have to put people in training. In SRO, you want an SRO, like everybody's like, oh, they want a certain type of SRO, but there are guys that are tactical and reasonable at the same time. Like they're able to talk to kids and not be tackleberry every second. But that's what you need. You don't need a guy in there that's at the end of his career possibly. If he's still a hard charger, put him in there. But it's not a hiding spot for an officer. You need a guy that knows how to make good decisions because when something bad happens, you need that guy, that right guy in the right spot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it all comes down to training. You have to make the money for training, and you have to put your guys through. You have to make sure they have hours in active shooter and different scenarios in training.
Yeah.
And what ERT did for me was it put me through from so many felony stops, vehicle assaults, even city buses, how to turn them off, how to engage them. We did so many different scenarios. I'm a lot more rounded than the normal patrol guy, but you need to put those guys in those situations too, and that all comes with money. So pay your guys, train them. That's what you need.
So what happens, Walter? What happens when you lose your accreditation?
Your accreditation?
Accreditation, whatever. Yeah, whatever. accreditation, whatever. What happens in that scenario?
Well, I mean,
can you be a police department?
If they're not accredited, then they can't. Are they training other people?
I don't know.
So they can't teach people how to carry guns in school if they're not accredited?
I don't know what that means. What does that mean, JP?
I think I'm not 100% sure. It's maybe people out there know more than me. I think it's you get more federal money to be accredited.
Oh, okay.
I think you possibly get more funds, and it's better for lawsuits. Hey, we're accredited. We did all these things to make our organization.
Okay. Okay, so they could still run the department, but they don't have that.
A lot of the PDs aren't accredited. Some are, some aren't.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't think ours are. I think we run it by a level of accreditation, but we're not. It takes a lot of time to make your PD accredited PD.
So is it typical to have a police department this big with no accreditation?
I would think they would. I would think they would have it, but
Yeah. Well, they lost it because of what's going on here. So not a good sign. Yeah. Who knows? Not good things happening there, obviously.
No.
Day late and $1 short, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't do any good after the fact.
I mean, what is that doing for anyone? What is that, And then we have all these crazy things happening in Florida behind all these situations, and no one looked at actually doing anything about it. They suspended 3 people so far because those people didn't go into the building. Just think about the difference that would have made.
If there's an active shooter, obviously you want numbers, right, to go in with numbers. But if I'm the first guy there, and there's that guy who's going to be there for a minute, I'm going in.
I mean, yeah.
It is. I mean, because I could take that guy out and save lives. I mean, it's a matter of people are probably going to die. You just want to stop the numbers of people dying. So if I get there, want to have a couple guys with you to go in, and that'd be your attack team, to go take out the threat. Right. But if it's going to be a little bit before someone gets there, you're going to have to make that decision, and you should probably. I would go in, and our PD is not going to really crush us on that at all if you go in. You just have to let them know where you're going in and communicate.
Yeah. What was that, Walter? No, I think it looks like Walter was trying to.
No, the thing. Did you hear that buzzing noise?
Yeah. Man. Was that you?
I didn't do anything. I got my hands up. I got my hands on the steering wheel. I didn't do anything.
That was
Shut your engine off.
I got a message from my group.
I don't know what the delay is on why it's doing that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, so what do you think about all this, Walter?
Well, I mean, once again, 9 times out of 10, when you have these active shooter things, first time somebody shoots back at the active shooter, he either runs or he shoots himself.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And if one person would have just put some rounds toward him, he probably would have cowered down, and that would have been it.
Yeah. So, I mean, go in there. You've got body armor on at least, right?
Well, I mean,
that's your job.
Yeah.
Well, after that shooting, they came out here in Florida and said that it's not their job to. It's not the. What is it? How'd they put that?
I think wasn't it the Supreme Court that said law enforcement is not they don't have to.
Yeah, there was something crazy that came out after that about the typical the thing is to serve and protect.
Well, they're not obliged to.
In Connecticut, I have a duty to act. If I don't act, I can get in trouble for that. Mm-hmm. So it might be federal, but state-wise, I think I can get in trouble for not acting. I have a duty to act. And if you're in this business, being a police officer, you should try to start this little group, the Blue Rifle Society. The best thing is we have 7 guys out there shooting all the time, or we have 2 guys shooting. So it creates more range time, right? So shooting is a good thing, right? We want to do different drills. We want to, test some things. So when you're on a range and getting trigger time is a good thing.
Yeah.
So
at least you're used to hearing those sounds, and all of that's not a bad thing, man. You should be used to hearing that. Maybe there should even be some training where you're used to having some bullets whiz past you.
Yeah, we do like our SWAT, our ERT team. We do all sims. So every time we do the basics a lot, we do a lot of entries, and we use sim ignitions every single time. So we spend a lot of money. Our PD spends a lot of money on sims, but they do it every month. They're shooting sims at each other.
Okay, I bet you that hurts like a mofo.
The 223 round sims, they leave welts on you. They hurt. It's good to get stung because maybe you'll so you'll pie that turn a little more, and instead of just so the live rounds coming or not live rounds but sims coming at you makes a big difference. Because you get into it, like you don't want to get hit by those things.
Yeah.
No.
So how can these guys be that big? Walter, I'm gonna let you start here because obviously JP is gonna have an answer for this, but I'd like to know what you think about it too. How can this department in Broward be so big and they're not doing this stuff like what JP's talking about here, or are they? And what's happening?
Probably their SWAT guys do that, and whoever else they have, like reactionary type. But your average, like the cop that was at the school, that like the schools have the policemen in it. Some counties have their own school policemen, and other ones use like sheriffs and city cops to do that. That's, to me, it would be kind of a cushy job where you go to school and you go to school and you do your day, and when the shit starts to go down, it seems like it's like, oh fuck, what am I gonna do?
But if you're in a school nowadays, I mean, I think that you're gonna. There should be some kind of training to have these guys do. If you're
going to be in that profession, you should be ready to engage.
Yeah.
I mean, at whatever level you can engage, you should be able to engage a little bit, nothing else.
Yeah. Every 53 hours, a cop dies in America. So it is traffic stops, domestics, like those are.
Yeah.
things.
I mean, you're constantly engaged. I mean, that's most of them are getting killed in these things where it's like it's domestic stuff. That scares the shit out of me, when you go to these domestics and it seems like everything's all right, and then all of a sudden it just guys start shooting. It's like it's crazy.
You never know. I mean, you could be the most tactical guy in the world, and you go to a call, someone calls in a bogus call, and next thing you know, you get shot through a window at 30-06.
You get bushwhacked.
They're ambushing you. I mean, so like what I do, and I tell the new guys. We park 2 houses down, 3 houses down. I'm walking up to the house. I'm looking at the blinds. Is there like a little break in the blind? Is there a little? A lot of bad guys will cut a piece of blind out of that's our little lookout spot. So you have to look for those things. You have to look. Is there shit or stuff all over the front lawn because they're fighting? And no matter how many domestics you go to, when they're trying to hide that they had a domestic and they're fighting, they can't hide it. Someone's like scratched up. Someone's crying. So. You have to be able to pick up on little cues or big ones and act on it. Don't get lazy. The guys get hurt. Now, I'm not saying everybody because you get ambushed, but some people get complacent. I've been to this alarm 25 times. It's another false alarm. That 25th time, you're getting shot. And I'm not saying that's how all guys are getting hurt, but you always have to remind yourself that even after 17 years on, I'm going to every call like it's real. I fool around and joke a lot when it's not work time in that moment, right? So. You want to go home to your kids, man.
Yeah, I mean, and then I don't know if they do this, but do they typically send one person to a domestic call?
No, most of all calls in our PD, we go 2 guys. So most of the time, unless the sergeant said no.
I think Florida is different though.
We had an officer who got shot and killed in, I believe, 2005. If I'm wrong on that, but I think it's 2005. And there's 2 officers there, but it didn't really matter. It was a bad situation, but
if you get bushwhacked, there's nothing you can do hardly. I mean,
no matter what.
Yeah, if someone plans to do this thing to you, unfortunately, if they've thought about it ahead of time, only luck can really give you any kind of like heads up or maybe intuition or something like that. But
and that's why I get upset when people say they hate police officers. The guys I know, all of us would fight for anybody out there. I don't care if you're a dirtbag. We might arrest you, but
we're going to help you. Like, and that's the thing. Like, you get 1% of the guys out there that are bad, or they act too cool. You know, they got beat up in high school. But most of the guys out there are trying to help people. That's 100%. There's always a 1% of bad. I mean, I don't care what it is, but I'm not going to let a guy be racist in front of me. I'm not like a guy going to take money or do anything dirty in front of me or bend the law. It's not happening. And he better be checking me at the same time. I want to do that. But that's why you can't let someone. We're the police. We're supposed to be good, and that's why when I go out there, I try to present that to people. I try to be fair as I can, and I always look out for all the kids too. Like all these little kids or lost kids. I talk to them, try to guide them through life because someone helped me through my life. Right? Just you're not gonna save everybody. I'm not no huggy feely guy either. Well, I am, but I'm not like out there just like not thinking people are criminal. I'll arrest you. I don't care. But you also have to remember you got to try to help people too. That's it.
Yeah. Ultimately, we're all human beings here, right? And somehow this is part of what civilization is.
Yes.
This is what we've created. I think more people should be protecting and defending themselves, or everyone should be doing that. But at the end of the day, we have guys doing it. Even where I live out in the country and all that, we have some guys that are out there doing it because things go sideways for lots of different reasons when you're sleeping at night or whatever. And there's some guys, like I think about it, like the guys who are on duty, my local sheriffs, those guys are rolling around, man, in pitch. It's darkness out here on big, massive pieces of land and all that kind of stuff. It's not fun. And last year, if you remember, Walter, two of our guys just got like ambushed having lunch.
Oh yeah.
And then the dirtbag kills himself.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So they never really found out what was up with that.
No.
There was no answer for that.
No, there's not. There's crazy people, and they're always going to find ways to do it. They'll run you over in a car if they could. They'll talk up and stab you. You're wearing a uniform. You're standing out like a bullseye. And hopefully, it doesn't happen to you. But that's when you sign up to be an officer. You don't sign up to get hurt, but it could potentially happen to you, and it has happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 44 years old fighting 18-year-olds sometimes. They stay young and we get old,
Yeah, absolutely, man. Look at I saw, was it Venus Williams just got beaten in what was it in? Was it in England? Where's the tennis match going on right now by a 15-year-old?
Wimbledon.
Yeah, Wimbledon. Okay. Yeah, she got beaten by a 15-year-old.
She should get beaten. She's getting old.
Yeah, it happens, man. Not staying young forever. I don't know what kind of juice out there is really going to do it for you, but it's funny because the girl that beat her looks like a younger version of her. It's like, sometimes you take a look in the mirror, you're like, can't do this forever. So
there is a time to take your winnings and
walk away from the game.
Yeah.
So listen, it's not. I know people have lots of different opinions on all this kind of stuff. I thought it would be good to have JP come on in the future when things come up, and we just look at things three-dimensionally and think about everything, and try to have an understanding instead of like just a one-way or myopic view of the world. So let's see. You know what? It's after 9 o'clock, so we should probably wrap this up here so Walter can go get some sleep. Speaking of old people.
Yeah, speaking of old folks, yeah. Keep your hands on the wheel.
Right, keep your hands on the wheel.
Keep your hands on the wheel.
I appreciate that.
I don't. It's like, well, yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you a story real quick.
Sure.
We were at our shop one night, and we're leaving at my shop, my business shop. We're all leaving in the Suburban. That day or the day before, a cop had been shot here locally for something. And so we're leaving him, and the sheriff pulls in behind us. Boop, lights come on, we stop. I mean, we just pulled out in the street. And so I stop, and I got my window down. Spencer rolls his window down. Is there a problem, officer? And the cop says, son, roll your window back up. And it's like, he didn't mean anything. He wasn't trying to be a wise ass.
He just reacted. He just reacted. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just reacting. And
some people get nervous and say some things, that comes out wrong, but whatever.
Yeah. I don't know why he stopped us. Just because it was dark and it was an industrial area, and he just saw us come out and he stopped.
Yeah.
But no worries, we went about our way. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it.
If you stay calm, like I think other human beings get nervous or excited when you get nervous or excited. Communication is instinctive. It's not even really the words you say. You just start giving off a vibe, and I think if you stay calm, other people will stay calm. Hopefully,
calm keeps people calm, but don't sleep on calm either, though, right?
No, absolutely not. I mean, some people are pretty, badass out there. I know I've gotten through a lot of situations where I really shouldn't be here just based off of staying calm.
Exactly.
And looking people in the eye and talking to them,
Always tell people, why are you nervous? You get me nervous, right? I always say it, like, so if they're nervous about something, or they're just never been pulled over before, you can tell.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see, Walter, as we're wrapping it up here, Walter, how can the folks how can they help you out, check you out on social media now that you're sick, and how can they send you virtual roses or something to help
I don't need no virtual roses. Send me some money if you want. That make me happy. No, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Safe Tower Firearms on YouTube. Of course, Mower Death. That's still out there.
Right.
And just check us out there.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. Let's see. Gibson Fender wants to know if I'm on tomorrow night. Yes, we'll be on tomorrow night. So, JP, how can people find out more about you or Blue Rifle Society? Just let the folks out there know what they, how
So,
follow
Blue
you
Rifle
guys.
Society, 7 of us. You'll have the good thing with that. You have 7 guys with a lot of guns that we post. Everybody posts a couple a day, and we just switch it up. One guy posts, another guy posts. We're on Instagram, Blue Rifle Society, and Facebook, Blue Rifle Society. We made a YouTube channel that we'll start trying, hopefully, putting some videos out. We're new, only 4 weeks in the game, but I appreciate all the likes. And hopefully we can bring some Northeast Second Amendment love to everybody. So
Cool. Thanks. So, we appreciate that. Okay, and thanks for everyone out there. It seems like it's a very lively chat out there. I saw Rod Mills was getting into it with someone earlier. I don't know what was going on. People are pretty lively and activated out there. So that's either good or bad, whatever. At least folks are awake. They're awake and active out there. Thanks for everyone for hanging out with us. Thanks to JP for coming on. Walter for coming in, even though you're sick, man. Toughing it out with us here. One last shout out to Walther Firearms for sponsoring the show. All you good guys for joining us. We'll be here tomorrow doing it again and again and again. We'll see you all. We're out of here.
All right.
Peace.
Good night.